Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
It's a bit of a different shot here for many reasons. One, because we're in a different place. We're in New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico.
And actually, we'll have to put in, I forget the name of the place, but we pulled over at a rest area because you can't really see, but back there is just, it's kind of like New Mexico desert. It's not desert like sand desert, but it's desert because there's hardly anything growing there, and because it's deserted, I guess. Anyway, it's the only place we could stop to try to catch the scene. It's really beautiful. We'll try to do some footage, and if she's up for it, she'll edit it in. If not, you can check on the Bhakti Vision, and you can follow the Wandering Krishnas and see. But really, for now, what we're going to do is try to read. So, because that's what we stopped for, to get our reading in. So, shall we read?
Yeah.
Bhagavatam?
Yeah.
She's very quiet. Where are we?
New Mexico. Whatever. Canto 3, Chapter 28, Text 15. Kapila's instructions on devotional service.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
And text 15. He also wears around his neck a garland of attractive silvum flowers and a swarm of bees, intoxicated by its delicious fragrance, hums around the garland. He is further superbly adorned with a pearl necklace, a crown, and pairs of amulets. Look, it says armlets.
Well, then it's armlets. It's not
Oh,
amulets.
that's what I said. Bracelets and anklets. Anklets, because it's not anklets. Purport. From this description, it appears that the flower garland of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is fresh. Actually, in Vaikuntha, or the spiritual sky, there is nothing but freshness. Even the flowers picked from the trees and plants remain fresh, for everything in the spiritual sky retains its originality and does not fade. The fragrance of the flowers picked from the trees and made into garlands does not fade, for both the trees and the flowers are spiritual. When the flower is taken from the tree, it remains the same. It does not lose its aroma. The bees are equally attracted to the flowers, whether they are on the garland or on the trees. The significance of spirituality is that everything is eternal and inexhaustible. Everything taken from everything remains everything. Or as, that's what it says.
Yeah, everything taken from on the absolute platform. Everything taken from everything would normally equal 0. But it equals
everything. Or as has been stated in the spiritual world, 1 minus 1 equals 1 and 1 plus 1 equals 1. The bees hum around the fresh flowers and their sweet sound is enjoyed by the Lord. So Mary Poppins round here, you just can't leave it. The Lord's bangles, necklace, crown and anklets are all bedecked with invaluable jewels. Since the jewels and pearls are spiritual, there is no material calculation of their value.
I'm going to lift your feet up because there's little ants crawling
Oh
around.
my days. Oh, do excuse me. Oh my God.
Maybe one already in there.
Oh, oh my days.
Was that the whole verse?
That is everything. We can finish it now. There's ants. There's killer ants here.
They're not killer. They're like the smallest ants on the planet.
Oh my days.
Surprisingly enough.
Oh my days.
Okay, so that was text 15. Now we're doing text 16. Did you have any thoughts on that? This beautiful description of the Lord, the garland around his neck. Swarms of bees, intoxicated by its delicious fragrance, humming about the garland. Adorned with a pearl necklace. What's that?
Fall off the bench.
Well, at least we'll get it on video.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Seems like we're not as absorbed as we could or should be. So it's difficult because we're using the iPad to film. Okay, so this is text 16. His loins and hips encircled by a girdle, he stands on the lotus of his devotee's heart. He is most charming to look at, and his serene aspect gladdens the eyes and souls of the devotees who behold him. The word Darshani Yatamam, Darshani Yatamam, which is used in this verse, means that the Lord is so beautiful that the devotee yogi does not wish to see anything else. He desires to see beautiful objects. His desire to see beautiful objects is completely satisfied by the sight of the Lord. So you don't need to see beautiful views like this. Of course, if you're seeing the Lord in this, then that's a different thing. In the material world, we want to see beauty, but the desire is never satisfied. Ain't it the truth? Because of material contamination, all the propensities we feel in the material world are ever unsatisfied. But when our desires to see, hear, touch, etc. are dovetailed for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they are on the level of the topmost perfection. So, it's an interesting thing because it's hard to believe that we can be satisfied just by seeing the Lord, but if we do become absorbed and we engage ourselves in the proper way, then just simply by serving the Lord, the Lord's devotees, the deity form, then we become satiated. We actually become happy and satisfied. We don't need anything else. We don't desire to see or feel or taste anything else, like that.
Yeah, because you become distracted in a good way.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like I was messaging one devotee while we were here, and we were just talking, because whenever I used to dress Sri Radha and Denishwara, she knew that day, and so she would purposefully, because she liked to make, say, a flower crown or extra garland or extra flower bracelets for Radharani or Krishna. So we were just saying, it how can I put it, that kept her on the spiritual platform, if that makes, because she would pick the flowers from her mum's garden and she would do it all at home, and it would be sent to the temple, and that enlivens her. She uses her, and she's very good, she's very talented, so that uses her creative abilities. And I was saying, and so it's funny because I was also thinking the same thing, that because I like to put those things on, and when you're dressing and you think, I do like this and do like that. So we both kind of played off each other's interest, creativity as it were, for their lordships. And it's nice to be distracted like that, because you could be distracted in other ways, you could be for yourself, she could be making stuff for herself or whatever, or go off shopping.
I guess the other ways would be distraction, and this is attraction, or proper engagement, So, but I get what you mean, distracted from the material energy,
yes.
but actually the material energy distracts us from the object of all attraction. Krishna,
right,
see all attractive, so
I'd rather be distracted by the spiritual energy than material. I'd rather that's so I don't have time for what else is going on.
Clearly, but I think I'm just breaking down the terminology of the word. It's not a distraction to be engaged in service, if that makes sense. It's not, I wouldn't use the word distraction, it's attraction. That's what we're meant to be attracted to. Distraction is what happens when we get caught up in the material energy.
Okay. And this is the next paragraph. Although the Supreme Personality of Godhead in his eternal form is so beautiful and pleasing to the heart of the devotee, he does not attract the impersonalists who want to meditate on his impersonal aspect. Such impersonal meditation is simply fruitless labor. The actual yogis with half-closed eyes fix on the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not upon anything void or impersonal. So Prabhupada is explaining that the Mayavadis, their labor is fruitless, their endeavor, because they're negating the Lord. But then at the same time, Prabhupada is acknowledging there are yogis. It's not that we're just saying Bhakti Yoga is the only way, or this is. There are yogis, right, in all the bona fide, who Prabhupada is saying they actually do, even though they're sitting there, like we read in the previous verses, where you have to sit up straight and your eyes are half closed. But he says the actual ones are meditating on the form, so that in other words, they're personalists on the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Yeah, Paramatma.
So.
Which is actually kind of being described here.
Yeah.
It's not, I mean, it is Krishna.
Yes.
But it's Krishna in his Paramatma form. It's
Yes.
not actually Krishna in his Tribhangananda, Shyam Sundar form. We're 17, right?
Yeah.
The Lord is eternally very beautiful, and he is worshipable by all the inhabitants of every planet. He is ever youthful and always eager to bestow his blessings upon the devotees, upon his devotees. Purport. The word Sarvaloka Namaskritam means that he is worshipable by everyone on every planet. There are innumerable planets in the material world and innumerable planets in the spiritual world as well. On each...
Oops. That's that. Yeah.
On each planet there is innumerable inhabitants who worship the Lord. For the Lord is worshipable by all but the impersonalists. The Supreme Lord is very beautiful. The word Shashwat is significant. It is not that he appears beautiful to the devotees, but is ultimately impersonal. Shashwat means always youthful. In the Brahma Samhita 533, it is also stated, Advaitam Achyutam Anadam Ananta Rupam, Adyam Purana Purusham Nava Yovanam. Cha. The original person is one without a second, yet he never appears old. He always appears as ever fresh as a blooming youth. So Krishna is Nava Yovana. He's ever youthful. He's always beautiful. It's not that he's beautiful to the devotees, but really that's just Maya. He's ultimately impersonal. No, he is always beautiful. He is, Krishna, the all-attractive.
Next paragraph. The Lord's facial expression always indicates that he is ready to show favor and benediction to the devotees. For the non-devotees, however, he is silent. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, although he acts equally to everyone, because he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and because all living entities are his sons, he is especially inclined to those engaged in devotional service. The same fact is confirmed here. He is always anxious to show favour to the devotees, just as the devotees are always eager to render service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord is also very eager to bestow benediction upon the pure devotees. For Krishna favours his devotees, and for the non-devotees he's silent.
He is Bhakta Vatsal.
Which, in one sense, for those who are critical of him or say, there's no God, or it's like he just confirms their desire because he doesn't reciprocate. He doesn't feel the need to show something then they think, oh God, there is something there, you know. It's like, okay, you don't think I exist, I don't exist for you. He's just silent. Like Prabhupada gives an example of his Krishna's facial expression is always ready to show favour, and I was thinking of the deity form in the temple, and he's smiling. You know, you don't go in there and you get like an angry deity, you know. It's like
Lord Nrsingadev.
Okay.
But even Lord Nrsingadev is beautiful.
To the devotees.
Well, yeah, definitely not to the non-devotees.
Let me just finish my sentence.
Sorry.
Nonetheless. But see, now I forgot what I was going to say. But anyway, yeah. So he's always smiling, as Prabhupada says here, and reading, oh, there's a mosquito that is going to get sent back to God today, for sure. Either that or he's just bit me. Oh, Lord. But, oh, God. So anyway, to the non-devotees, it's interesting because they would, or atheists or people are critical, they would see the same deity, but they wouldn't get the same reciprocation or rasa, is what I'm trying to say. You know, if we walked in and saw Shri Radha and Danish went, oh look, you know, oh his hair's like this, oh he's like that, and we see a smiling form, you know, we see reciprocation, we see love. But someone who's like, I don't know what's going on here, I don't know, you know, this is so weird. I mean, we've shown people around, they've shown like new people, or when I say new people, like people have just come to visit the temple or certain representatives, and then they'll just say, oh, they'll refer, oh, like they'll almost look at them and then look away, or refer to them as dolls or your idols or these things that you know, these statues, you know, they're not getting anything from their lordships, whereas someone else who's a bhakta, you know, devotee comes in and they could just melt. They could just say, oh my God, look how they dressed them today, or oh, you look so nice, or it's interesting, you know?
Yeah, the devotees sit in front of the deities for hours having darshan and chanting and just gazing upon the form of the Lord, yeah.
Yeah, never satiated from that darshan.
Should we read one more?
Let's have a look. Aurelius, that's what's been biting. Sorry.
Has it literally bitten you?
Yeah, I can feel something here. I'm sure it will come up. The next one's like that. I don't know if we'll survive.
It's a bit long.
Because there's a lot of killer ants here.
You need to do it. Okay, so we'll conclude here. We might give a little, try to give a little view, darshan of the Lord.
Well, we'll have it in, like we said, in the other vlog.
Okay. All right, thank you all very much for tuning in. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.